Gable passed out. And I think very shortly after they passed out, they were discovered. And I think Nodoze heads immediately to Travis. Travis.
Yeah.
Gable has collapsed.
Okay, well, I feel like I would have felt that. They're so big, would have probably shaken the ship.
Yes, well, the bigness is part of the reason that I have come to you. I need someone to help me move them to the medical examination office.
Oh, well, what about Slam here? He's so large.
Gable, first of all, Slam is deeply entangled with those ropes. It would take us hours of deep and difficult work to untangle him from that. He may be there for the remainder of this adventure in port.
Like a strung ham, good God.
It's okay, it's meditative.
Fine. If the ham is stuck, then I suppose I will help.
Quickly. Nodoze, moves between... Most ships, old sailing ships, used to have their cargo holds loaded from the top. So I imagine that the Uhuru has, similar points of access at the front and the back of the ship. Nodoze, slides down one of the ladders and, of course, cuts through the kitchen on his way. He just lays a hand on Jonat's, shoulder and collar and, pulls him with their group. Come, you must assist.
Okay. Knife. There.
Yeah, I think you toss the knife and, Jane just catches it out of the air.
Yeah, there's, one last flash of the eyes. He throws it. Knife. Jane doesn't even look.
I'll be honest, absolutely horrible kitchen etiquette from every single one of you. This is extremely dangerous.
Jane, Toku, and Fella Ferretti all flip you off.
Yeah.
As you get pulled
in unison. They never turn around. It's all backs and then birds.
I bet you just...
Backs and birds, baby.
You just toss knives into a full sink of water and leave it. And I bet...
It's got blue liquid in it. It's the blue stuff. It disinfects.
No, but I'm saying that's extremely dangerous. You reach your hand into it. You can't see what's in there. You cut up your hand on a knife.
The
that's just in a
liquid
sink
is
of water.
fairly clear. All right? It's pretty clear.
We would have so many more fingers on this ship if you just practiced a little bit of safety.
You know what? Why are you still in the kitchen?
Yeah, he's leaning his head around the corner, being pulled by Nodoze into another room.
I'm just trying to help. And speaking of help...
Toku throws a root vegetable at you.
Excuse me. Again, bad kitchen etiquette. And if you need help, I would say you should help your friend Slam.
You don't even have anything to say. Just leave. You're finding the words.
Slam is stuck as a ham in the front of the ship. Maybe use one of your dangerous knives that you love to toss around to cut him out.
I think at the last word there, Nodoze's fingers extend over Travis's mouth and pull him into the next room. Finally ending that scene, we turn the corner and we can see Gable laid out on the ground. We can see that there is a secret shelf that Gable has in the boards of the ship where they've tucked away what looks like a pile of rocks. And on the ground we can see marked into the floor either with chalk or charcoal, the remnants of some kind of ritual have been done. And Gable is just passed out on the ground.
Gable?
As far as I'm aware, you both understand their condition.
Passed out?
No, Travis, come on. Their origin.
Oh.
Yeah, how does that equal this?
I don't know.
Did you just come in here and see them like this? Were you here when this happened?
How long have they been here?
Gable left the helm to attend to something before port. I happened to see them leave the helm, and curiosity drew me to their path. I didn't watch them as they worked, but I did hear them collapse. Has this happened before, as far as you know?
No.
I don't think so. Jonnet goes up to Gable just to do the most surface level check. All right, they're still breathing. They don't seem. Does Gable seem like, outside of not being conscious, is anything else amiss, wrong?
Not that you can tell physically.
Okay.
Like through any examination that you'd be able to do with your hands or eyes, Gable appears as Gable normally is. We've established that Gable doesn't have blood, but also I think there is still a heartbeat. Even if that is weird, like there is some sort of pulse or heartbeat about their being, and of course, they are warm to the touch. So Gable also breathes. We do know that Gable breathes, so there's no difference there. As far as you can tell with like a mundane check, they are alive.
Okay. And is there anything around Gable to give any kind of clue of what they were doing?
You do see a rock that appears to be like the center of the ritual. Like there are a lot of rocks that are like tucked away in this cubby hole, but like one of them was pulled out to do some sort of something. That is hard to see. I will say that the way we'll call it both chalk and charcoal, the way the things that they have done as part of the ritual have fallen, you can see smudges at their shoulders behind them. It does make it look like there are wings spread out on the ground.
Jonnet is going to go to the rock and just going to very tepidly put a hand down and touch it and see if there's any kind of read or vibe from it.
You get a vibe. This is...
Is it a
I
good
don't
vibe?
think you... I don't want to give it like good or bad value judgment, but this does not feel like a normal rock. There's like a different hum to it, almost. Like we know the idea of the the idea that creation made a sound, and that sound echoes throughout the universe, and it is possible to like resonate with it. Like there is something that is a fraction of that resonance. Almost a trumpeting of creation exists within this rock.
That's heavy. That's... Travis?
Yeah.
Feel this rock.
Okay. Do I get a vibe?
You know what? I think the vibe that you get is strange, in that this rock almost feels stiller than other rocks for you, if that makes sense. Where Jonnet feels a resonant vibe coming from this rock, you feel almost like this rock is intentionally giving you a cold shoulder.
Feels like an anti-rock.
See, that's wild because this feels like such a rock to me that like I thought I knew rocks until I met this rock, and now I have to reevaluate what everything else that I experienced was.
Now touch it again. Do you think because you touched it first, you sucked all the rock out of the rock?
Okay, all right. John is going to touch the rock again. This time it's like it's less tepid. It's like whole hand on rock.
Yeah, it still resonates in the same way, and as you do it, Nodoze goes, "Gentlemen, please."
Nodoze, come over here and touch this rock.
Touch this rock.
It's a rock. It's a rock.
No.
You
This
don't
is
understand.
the rock. Okay?
No, this is not a rock at all. This is
No.
absence
This
of
is,
rock.
This is like 4 rocks in one rock.
Mr. Gable is passed out on the ground. We have to get them to the medical room.
Okay, we go through dangerous situations all the time. We have yet to meet a super rock.
Or
Take
a nega
the
rock.
rock. Take the rock. Take the rock.
If I think if I put this rock in my pocket, my pocket will get lighter.
I fucking can't.
See, if I'm thinking, if I put this rock in my pocket, I don't think I'll be able to like leave the ground. This sink will ship. This ship will sink.
Now, but if I put it in my pocket, this sink will ship.
I cannot possibly lift Gable on my own. Travis, I need you to get on the other side. Jonnet, I need you to help. We must take them to the captain.
Okay, but grab the rock. Grab the rock and we'll help you.
All right, I'm going to grab the rock. Jonnet grabs the rock. He doesn't have any pockets at the ready, so he puts it in his mouth, and then he grabs Gable.
He doesn't have any pockets at the ready.
You know what? He's in PJs today.
I love the idea of, I guess PJs is good. I just love the idea of Jonnet just having too much in his pockets. Like, they're jam-packed. They cannot fit a single extra
Jonnet definitely wears cargo shorts for sure.
Which is why he's kicking himself right now, because under any other situation, it's a laundry day. And under any other situation, he would have ample pocket space.
We've got to sew some cargo pockets on those PJs.
Yes.
Jonnet picking up the rock and says out loud, "My inventory is full," and just puts it in their mouth.
If you trade to me 4 silver spoons, I could expand your inventory slots.
Nah, dog. All right. And for the last time, you don't work on the ship, okay?
I was hired. I was one of the few people who was hired.
That's right.
I could offer you this briefcase that allows you to slot things into it in squares. You could fit a rocket launcher and some pistol ammunition.
No, we're not doing that, all right? We're not buying, we're not selling. We're taking Gable to the captain.
Thank you. We cut over to the door outside the captain's office, where you are so close to Dreff's, what used to be Dreff's office, the medical examination room, but we can see that the whole group of you is covered in sweat, exhausted from dragging Gable from the bottom of the ship, essentially, to the top of the ship. Gable being 7 feet tall, made of a tower of muscle, they're extremely heavy. Nathan, I think at this time, like you've probably, like, the ship is drawn into port and now they're going through like the regular docking checks, which means you've probably wrapped up your lesson to the orphans. How do you happen upon this group?
So Oromar is walking back from the class, quite pleased with themselves. They've only relatively recently been putting in the effort into moving their face muscles to express emotion. By being a ghost haunting their own body, finer motor movements like that are often inefficient or annoying to do. Now that he's trying to take an active role in being the charismatic leader that he's supposed to be, he's like, maybe I should actually emote more. That might make me more endearing to my colleagues. And so has an expression of, like, I think contentment as they are eating an apple on the way back. We see a slow kind of like bite of an apple and what sounds almost like a mill grinder sound, as they don't really chew it. Just kind of grind this thing into a mush as they are walking down the corridor looking content, and then run into the crew.
I'm so curious about that apple, and we'll learn more about that later.
Oh, is obtaining apple a bit like a...
No, I'm just, where does it go?
So we can tell you and determine who is correct about the rock.
Thank you.
Fair. Thank you.
Captain, if you would please. Mr. Gable has passed out during some kind of ritual, origin unknown, though I suspect it might be celestial.
There is a hand on chin, and you see micro expressions as the brow like furrows by a good 30-40%. Oromar is proud with the level of actual detail and consternation that he's giving you.
Wow.
I see. Well, we may have a book on this matter. And he opens the door to his office. and like goes over to the bookshelf and signing with one hand. Please detail what you saw in terms of any ritual items or drawings, as he wants to go and see if there's anything in his own records to kind of explain what Gable was getting up to.
I think Nodoze begins to like launch into an explanation, certainly looking over your shoulder as you flip through the various like ritual markings inside the book. I would like to cut over to Teacher Wei. Wei now I would like to cut over to Gable. Gable, when we last left you had awoken in Dreff's office on the Uhuru. Nodoze had stood outside, like sort of standing watch over you.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, you were left kind of with memories swimming through your head. Memories that you are still chewing over. When a sudden burst of your past hits you all at once, even if you experience it all, it's difficult, I think, initially to order things properly. It all becomes so overwhelming, and you have to sort and sift through exactly where events fall and decide how you feel about them, process them very differently, I think, than most people would think of processing events in their past.
More than anything, I think this feels like that sort of embarrassment of the day after you've had a little bit too much to drink and you don't really remember what happened while your brain was in a different place. So there's a little bit of Gable just trying to get up and I don't remember anything. Oh, okay. Where are my friends? Well, they're not here. Okay. Cool. Going to just okay. Let's go back to work. Let's just get out to the city and try to find Captain, and it's fine.
Mr. Gable?
What? Huh?
Mr. Gable, are you up?
Who is it? No, I know who it is. I'm being polite. Come on in.
Wow.
The door opens up and you see Nodoze behind it. Nodoze, obviously not as tall as you, but he's a lanky person, a skinny person. So he normally, looks tall, looks like a person who is used to towering over people around him. But in this moment, he looks very small, very cautious, as though he's approaching a wounded animal that might run away if he makes any sudden movements. How are you feeling?
Poorly. Could you, first of all, thank you. Second of all, get me a little caught up on what's happened here and how embarrassed I should be.
Not embarrassed per se. I discovered you passed out around your Heidi Holt collection, I suppose.
It's supposed to be secret.
I discreetly went to find Jonnet and the captain and Travis, and together we pulled you into the office so that you could recover.
Oh, well, thank you. One never anticipates to be a burden on others, but I thank you.
They have gone to see a physician about your condition. I expect if there's news, they will return.
Well, I guess I should find them. I'm fine. Everything's good. Everything's great.
Mr. Gable, I did happen to witness something of what occurred. and we did our best to analyze the condition under which we discovered you. I do suspect that something divine was part of the order.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Nodoze, I owe you an apology. I've not been a good steward of your feelings. And I'm not smart, but I am emotionally intelligent. So...
Mr. Gable, I wouldn't say that you're not smart.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to you.
Sorry about what?
You know.
Nodoze is sweating right now, for sure.
I don't know what has happened to me, but I do know that at this moment I'm not in a place where I can continue to be a good steward of your feelings. I can be a good friend at this moment.
Okay, this is definitely getting a little bit awkward. I wasn't asking for anything. I have no ambitions for...
Okay, well...
any...
The vibes, though, have been pretty intense, like kind of radiating. I just wanted to just say, like...
I think at this moment, walking up behind Nodoze as he is trying to process exactly what you are saying to him, a heavy hand falls on his shoulder and a jovial face pokes over it. I see someone's not hungover anymore or has slept it off.
You bet. Uh-huh. That it's time for me to rally, try to get some hair of the dog and do it all again. That's me.
Gentles, I have just the cure. You're gonna love it. Nodoze. Wendell wraps an arm further around Nodoze and points right at his chest. You're gonna love it too. We are gonna go on an adventure.
Just us cool kids?
Just us cool kids.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun, right? As far as I know, that'll be fun.
Yes, so much fun. I am looking forward to enjoying this to the fullest. And there's nothing else that I would rather be doing at this point. I know! It's great! It's a great idea! Folks, there is a treasure in this city, in this very crater. Tell me, have either of you been to Deauxmignon before?
Probably. Who knows?
I must confess I have not. Oh, well, this is a place that is full of treasures. There are tunnels all about the place. There are all these big craters that connect to each other, not just from the rivers and canals that we saw when we were coming in, but tunnels underneath the ground that can fill and wash with water or drain when people pump and make exchanges between the canals. And everything is built on top of a city that used to be much larger and much grander, which means all of that stuff gets washed into the tunnels. And the locals make a habit of moving about those tunnels and trying to grab whatever treasures they can grab. And I've got us all a lead.
Ooh.
What kind of lead? There's a rumor that there's a treasure that never moves, and one that no one has ever claimed.
What do you mean it doesn't move?
Well, most of the tunnels, because they're constantly filling and draining with water, you might look in a tunnel one day and find nothing, but come back in a week and it's moved about so much that things have actually washed into it. So you can explore different rooms, as much as you want, and some days there might be nothing there, and other days you might find something really cool.
And...
So...
No, you go, Nodoze. This is your ship. You drive it.
I mean, you are the helm.
Toot
Mr.
toot.
Gable.
Go for it.
So you're
the classic
saying
toot
that...
toot of a ship.
Toot toot like boats do. I get it. It made sense. So you're saying that the treasure that you have found or heard about doesn't move around? Exactly.
Do you have any intel on what it is? You got some swords? We got gold? What are we?
All we know is that it glows. And everyone who's ever made an attempt to get it has died or turned back before they got it.
Okay,
because they
then
watched their friends die.
Stakes are not quite as high. You're either dead or you're smart.
Yeah. There's a point of no return where everybody can see it at the bottom of a deep well. And all those who, go to claim it, they either give up and head back home, or they drown trying to get it. So we go moving through tunnels until we find a very deep well, and then we look at a treasure and decide if it's worth dying for. You got it!
Great. You bet.
That's the fun, good time adventure that you want us three to go on. Yeah!
Just three of us? Listen, I've had a time, and something that is external to me that I have no stakes in but can have a fun, good time with is very welcome right now. Extremely so. Where little baby adventures for little babies. Oh, would love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this one seems like kind of a layup.
Yes, I would love to do this. First, I was sick for quite some time, and I do need to inform the people who went to go get doctors, apparently, for me, that I'm cool, all good, great. Not throwing up or anything. I should go see them first, but after that, totally on board.
Yeah, we'll send them a bird.
But I should go with them with my body to go walk around and be like, yep, still walking, all 7 feet of it, still going.
We'll find a raven rookery and just send it after him.
But I would like to see my the people who are concerned about me. I would like to do that. Just or if we're gonna spend the next 4 hours just having you two talk to each other, I'd love that as well.
Hey, Gable, trust me. I know these folks. They've already forgotten about you.
That's extremely
In a friendly way.
very rude to these people who you've been flying with and are both of our mutual good friends.
Well, one of them's Travis. One of them's a 15-year-old boy.
Okay.
And I suppose a captain might have his stuff together, but I'm sure they've already found something more important.
All right. Frame it for me this way. Is this one of those situations where you think the other people who did go see the doctor to find me, that they have their own things to accomplish and that me being there is kind of antithetical to them accomplishing their things because someone might have some little storyline they need to do, right?
I think that if you go right now, what you might find is there are in-progress storylines that you probably won't be able to interact with. Yeah.
Not fun. Okay, then if that's the case, then yes. However, I would like to set up just one messenger bird so we can all text each other and still remain in contact and kind of keep everyone's...
Wow.
Ooh, I love this very much.
We never established a two-way.
I like the idea that you'll be able to send. This is how we'll establish scene flow. Is we're going to send out this bird, and this bird will move to the next scene, and that's how we'll know.
And then everyone will be updated. We don't need to do any sort of weird catch-ups about what we've been up to.
A few moments later.
Found the rookery, chaps.
Thank you so much.
Wendell comes back, and there is a bird on his arm. Liz, I would love for you to describe this bird for us.
His name is Brandon. No, I want him to have a fancy little name. I'm trying to figure out like the logistics of how this would work. Like small enough that it knows to go back and forth between like a specific 3 people.
I think it's got to be a little magic, right?
Yeah. So maybe because it has to be short, you can only really curl up the message around its leg. So maybe it's a very small bird, regular sized bird that has a little collar that you can sort of do small etchings into, say the 2 or 3 names that you wanted to go in between. Then that's charmed.
Ooh, what if we do it golem style? In the sort of like golem myth, you write words that you put into like a simulacrum's mouth, and that becomes its instructions for existence. What if for this bird, you have to write on little pellets the name of the intended recipient and feed it to the bird, and that way the bird will be able to find that person?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Gable, let's say like they're like little finches, like they're really small.
Ooh, very small.
Very small. And so it takes a little bit of dexterity to write something that small onto a little pellet. So Gable takes 3, and I assume there's also like a little bit of an intention. You can't write a full name, but like this one's Johnnet, this one's Travis, this one is the captain. Take these 3 little pellets and this little zebra finch, which the females are just white, bright white. So you can see them and know that like that's not a native bird to this area, and just holds extremely small in their palm the 3 little pellets and waits for a bird to jump in and eat it.
Yeah, I think like one of the birds from the rookery that's like on Wendell's arm, like hops down, moves over, like regards it carefully, eats it. Who do you want the scene to move to next?
The captain and Travis will
Travis did just... The Uhuru has docked at one of, I'm going to say dozens, if not hundreds, of skyship ports around Deauxmignon. Deauxmignon, as a city, is actually like very separate encampments or townships along a river delta that is shaped not unlike an angel feather. There are rivers that split off into many rivers and intentionally dug canals that move out into either pools or craters that are created from, meteorite impacts from a very long time ago. And if you were to look at it from a bird's eye view, you would see that it is not unlike the fronds and eyes of an angel feather from the sky. Where we are now is inside one of the craters that has flooded with brackish water to become a pool. So the mini city or district of Deauxmignon that you are currently in is a bunch of interconnected docks, floating houseboats, and built onto stilts buildings that are all part of this crater that was created by a meteor, and beneath is a sunken city or sunken part of Deauxmignon that used to be part of the city. Goodness knows how long ago. We move down the dock of the Uhuru. We can see dock workers who are elaborately dressed. They're definitely in work clothes, but they're in a more dressed up version of work clothes. It's almost like someone is putting on a play of people working at a dock. But, you can see that Uhuru crew are also mixed in. You can also see, folks that you recognize around the dockside eateries and bars of Deauxmignon. And, of course, Gable, you haven't seen this before. You can see the massive hive ship of one of the Ose luxury cruisers that is docked not too far off from the Uhuru. It is truly staggering. It must be 4 or 5 times the size of the Uhuru, with many lavish-looking balconies and lights heading off. It glows in the dark, almost like its own sort of sun. And you can hear the sounds of music and revelry coming from that and really the ambient floating city around you.
Oh my God, this looks so fun.
It must be nice not to constantly be working.
You and me both. Okay. I started a thought and then I didn't finish it. So let's just keep on going.
I like you say you started a thought and you didn't finish it. And I think this is a perfect moment for us to interject with the first part of Gable's remembered narrative. We zip over to another part of the city, kind of in the bowl that we have established for this particular district of Deauxmignon. We're sort of on the outer edge where part of the floating city bumps up against a rocky cliff, and we can see the entrance to a cave there. And we see somebody sitting outside a cave with a gas lamp right next to them. They're an older sort of person. And when I say an older sort of person, age radiates off of them. They're not like Spit, who is just like an old man. They are someone who maybe they look younger than Spit, but they just feel old as a person. It doesn't matter whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, or your 50s. You look at that person and you go, oh, that person's old. Whether I am older than them or not, this person is actually old. And I think they've got, like, we'll say a harmonica that they are, piping away on just to pass the time, when the group of Wendell, Nodoze, and Gable kind of approaches this person. Good evening. The person, holds up a hand and then, motions people forward. Good evening to you. What brings you here this time of night?
Well, first I thought it was the case, but that gas lamp, I love it. Where do you get those? I've seen them everywhere.
I see you're not from the city.
No.
Visiting.
That's by definition, yes.
The gas lamps are traditional here.
Lovely. I just wanted to pass commentary. Anyway, Wendell's the one who's doing all the, organizing, so.
No, I love it when you talk, too.
No, well.
That's fun for me.
Uh-huh.
It feels like we're on the adventure together. I know what you're thinking. Am I French or Dracula? The answer is yes.
I certainly was thinking of it, and all of my questions have been even more confused, but thank you for that. Sidebar, Wendell, why are you still here?
What do you mean?
You're gonna go get married. What are you still doing here?
Well, yeah, on the mainland.
Oh, we're still not there yet. Okay.
No, not there yet. But Wendell, were you intending to stay on with the crew? I know you've been married once before. I mean, I hadn't given it too much thought.
What?
All right. Listen, I understand being a young buck, being a bachelor is an attractive lifestyle, and I know it's frightening to step into the next thing, and you haven't needed to for so long because you've been trying to get the money to build your life back at home. But now that the prospect of home is before you, it must be frightening. I get that. I understand that. And maybe in this course of this journey, we can help you find that sort of metaphorical adulthood to help you move on to the next thing. But I just need to do that table setting right now.
Well, I thought that we were here to avoid our problems.
All right.
I don't think that's a real thing. I don't.
goes with you wherever you go. The avoidance is because it's in here, and the brain is at the top of the body, and it keeps on moving with you.
With that, the person leans forward. Excuse me.
All right, Dracula. How much to get in the cave?
You are not from around here. We will require a passage in order to use the... Oh my gosh. Saang Lesgeer.
Sounds like you had trouble with that.
Yeah, I need to... Hold on.
Google Translate.
Pull up the pronunciation guide.
This is your native tongue, correct? You should have just really rolled off.
The Sang Légère.
Pardon?
You have not used the Sang Légère before.
No. What?
The tunnel chords.
Oh, tunnel cords. Yes, certainly. What, is it a safety measure?
I take from your silence that you have not. This is fine. In order to travel the caves, you will need light. There is no light in the dark, and lanterns will fail.
Noticeably so, there is no light in the dark. You got me there.
I'm sorry. I am trying to slow down for someone who does not understand simple concepts. And
Seems
also
like we're both
not speaking my native tongue.
We're both being rude. I understand. You're being rude.
I know, but culturally, I am supposed to be rude to you.
I feel like that's... You didn't need to...
This is my birthright.
You didn't need to bring that into this conversation. And I am saying that, yes, I agree with you. I didn't disagree with the things you're saying. Continue.
In order to do this, he reaches to his side and pulls out a knife. The silver of this blade glints wickedly in the scant moonlight.
Oh, I'm so sorry for being rude. I'm so sorry. Oh, you don't need to, please, we don't need to get in a fight. You don't need to do any stabbing. That's fine.
There is no amount of apologies that will prevent me from taking your blood from you. Because this is how the Sang Légère works.
Pardon?
The cord needs your blood to light the way.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the cool things about this place. They've got all these caves, right? And they've got these ropes in the caves. And in order to get them to light up and take you on the pathway that you need to walk, you gotta feed them blood.
Wendell, this is something that we're going to talk about in your upcoming relationship. There's something called trickle honesty. So you are saying things, but you're not saying them in the completion that we need to know them. So you are saying, oh, I wasn't dishonest. I just didn't tell you right away. That's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gable. On our cool, fun adventure together, you might need to bleed a little bit.
It is very cool. I'll tell you that to you, Dracula Frenchman. This is a very cool situation.
Yes, it is almost as if a group of people who have cool ideas came up with it together instead of it just being a thing that naturally we figured out in this environment. Very glad that I landed on a little bit French and a little bit Dracula. As that's kind of thematically, I think we can all agree, the deal.
Yeah, we can justify anything, truly.
I love that we invented the most morbid glow sticks known to man.
Yes.
It is pretty yucky, I do have to say. But okay, all right. What is the is the fee just blood? Do I have to give you any money?
Yes, I will. You will tell me where you want to go, and I will pick out the right cord for you. If you would not like to pay me a tip, then I will leave you to find it on your own.
Okay. What's the... I'm not from here. What is the standard tip for this procedure?
We're heading to Plume Crew.
Ah, I see.
I don't like the way
Le
you say
Plume
that.
Crew.
I hate the way you say that.
Tell me, are you gentlemen willing to risk your lives on this night?
Sure, man. Whatever.
That does appear to be the theme of the night, and I've apparently got nothing better going on, so yeah, let's risk our lives.
Cool stuff.
Wendell.
Party time.
I suspect you all have heard this story, yes? The Watcher in the dark? The Watcher in the dark?
We've heard from a single person who is standing next to me with a lot of confidence that there is a treasure that has been unclaimed. And that is as far as I
And
know.
I heard it from a guy in a bar.
Awesome. Great.
Yes, well, Le Plume Creux is a staple of this area. There are many treasure hunters who come to Deauxmignon. Many who wish to claim a fortune to provide themselves a life of comfort and luxury. One that can be provided by many of the amenities here in my fine city. It is a dream that draws people from all over, and Le Plume Creux is one of the finest. But you are correct. No one has ever claimed this treasure before. It sits at the bottom of a deep well. One thing that you might not be familiar with. The water here is not the same as the water across the rest of Sphere. In the rivers and the lakes, like we all know, lies Rusalka, who tempts those to come close to her banks and drowns them under the wave. And of course, out in the sea, amongst the arms of Oceana, you have the Leviathan and the cold touch of the Mariner. Here in Deauxmignon, neither claim our water. The salt mixes with the fresh water, creating the brackish tides of Deauxmignon. And here, you can swim. Here, you can move in the water safely. However, water, even without the curse of either Rusalka or the Mariner, is still very dangerous. And so, those who are hopeful head out to Plume Creux and find themselves seeing a fortune in the dark, a fortune that watches them back and tempts them down. And those who value fortune more than their lives perish under the water. And those who value their lives more than fortune turn back the other way. I have never seen anyone claim this treasure, but I have seen everyone walk away who does walk away from the experience, realizing the richness of their own life.
Watcher in the dark, huh?
Yeah, the Watcher in the Dark. The Plume Creux.
Are you sure it's just a watcher in the dark, or do you think it's someone who forgot that you need light inside of the dark?
Ah, I see we have a person of ideas. Well, if you do have a light that can survive underneath the
I was
water-
being mean to you. I was trying to be very mean to you. I wasn't having any idea. I don't like you. We're not friends.
It is, how do you say in your language? Very difficult to be mean to someone from a place of ignorance.
Ooh! Ooh!
No.
Never
light
mind. I'm on board. That
will-
was fun. I like that.
You see, this is culturally the sort of meanness that we have here.
Yeah,
It is,
tete-a-tete. It's
a
about-
little fun.
This is about having
Yes.
fun. Now I'm
you are
having
going
fun.
to fit in just what. I hope you don't drown. I really
you.
mean it when I say I hope you don't drown.
I hope that you don't drown for whatever it is
Yes.
you're doing.
It would be cool if no one drowned.
I mean, it'd be
It would be great if no one drowned.
cool.
If you would like to go see Plume Creux, then all you have to do is give me 4 ounces of blood and 1 silver bit.
I'm gonna huddle with my fellas.
Yeah.
Gonna huddle a bit.
We're just going to do a quick huddle, real
Huddle.
quick.
So I can do the silver.
Okay.
The rest of it, can't. There's nothing. I don't blood.
Yeah, gonna be honest, I've got my right arm, which I use that for all my writing and my correspondence work, my fine work. And I've got the old lefty here, which can you fellas keep a secret? Sure.
Maybe. Depends if you talk to the people that I talk to.
Since my accident, I haven't done a lot of bleeding from my left arm.
Oh, interesting.
I don't do a lot of feeling in the left arm either. But definitely not a lot of bleeding from it.
That's normal, I bet. Right?
So I'm just the blood boy, then, is what I'm hearing?
No.
Is kind of what I'm hearing is
Not necessarily.
I'm here for the blood. Because
No.
you need a blood guy.
If we...
No.
No. You're a blood man.
Nodoze.
A big, strong man full of good, juicy blood. And then Wendell...
I'm always saying, you've got so much blood. So much good blood.
Everyone I talk to is just like, oh, you press on him. Like, oh, I wish I was a mosquito just trying to get in there. Yum, yum.
Wendell, I don't know if you know, but assuring me that you're always saying that I'm full of such good blood doesn't do a lot to alleviate my concern that you brought me here as the blood guy.
Blood man. And I'm doing the money. And then Wendell will go first. So if there's a drowning involved, then he'll take that burden on, right?
Yeah, sure.
Fantastic.
Totally. I'm down for that.
Fantastic. That's great. I want to remind everyone, we're doing this for fun. This is a fun thing that we decided to do as friends.
Yeah, look, the rowdy R's are gone, okay? And I would never say that we were disloyal in the way that the rowdy R's were, but we've always been a bit rowdy. When they needed someone to cause a distraction on the civility, who was there? It was us.
Yes.
And when they needed someone to commandeer Il Sanguidio, when there was a mariner attack, who was there?
It was us. These are all things that I decided. It wasn't like other people. It was mostly just like me saying, I want to go places with my friends.
When the vote came to Nordia, though, and people asked us what we wanted to do, each of us three said we would stand and fight against the most terrible force that has ever been known in Sphere. Fearless. The three of us have always been fearless. And here we have it. We have the final real test. What did we do? What did we do when I found out that I was going to get married? We decided to go out and hunt Leviathan together. That didn't scare us at all. That was a walk in the park. That was fun, yes. Yes, it was. We get our thrills from taking risks.
And listen, Nodoze, your blood hasn't come out yet. It's all been inside. You've been very stingy with it. Maybe now's the time. Get a little bit, give a little bit,
I suppose, yes. We will maybe on this particular adventure find some clarity. And if the price for that is a couple ounces of blood...
4 ounces is quite a bit. You're going to get pretty dizzy.
Well, I guess there does look like there's a 24-hour bakery stand over there. We'll get some cookies.
We'll do a negotiation. All right, Dracula, quick question. So, we've got the silver, right? 4 ounces of blood seems like a lot, but can we do a little bit just for the safety and to make sure that, like, you as a host get like all these great 5-star reviews. Do you have any sugar cookies? Do you have an orange juice that you can give my little blood friend here?
Oh, I see what your group might be looking for.
Well, this is a different guy.
That sounded too close to fucking Calavar. Hey, this
There it
isn't-
is.
Jerk off, Jerry.
This isn't your friend. This is another guy. I couldn't help but overhearing that y'all looking to go on a bit of an adventure, but you don't have enough blood betwixt your group to maybe go down that tunnel without anyone passing out.
Are you offering blood? Are you just hanging around the front of the cave?
That's right.
Oh,
I'm a
boy.
bleeder. I'm a professional bleeder. I bleed all day.
Now, hang on one second. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. All right. Now, this man's blood is not as good as my blood. All right. I can bleed all day, every day, and still do not listen to him. Do not listen to him. Do not listen to him.
Copper bit. I'll
So
bleed
you guys
as much as you want.
looking to buy some blood? Look, don't let these two jokers.
No. Do not listen to him. Do not listen to him.
I'm not listening to any of you.
No. I got.
I'll open the vein right now.
You know what? You
No.
can't. Don't even worry about it because I've already pricked my finger. All right,
No,
go ahead.
don't you-
Watch this blood trickle down my index finger. Okay, this is premium blood. All right, now it will
God.
continue to run down to my elbow and then drip down because I bleed so often, so frequently, so well.
I
You say
think
the word.
something that you may be misunderstood. This is not my blood, but I do have blood.
Okay, that's
Some blood.
this person is with a mob and just murdered somebody.
Look. I'll give you a tiny little bag of blood for free, just so you can see if you like it.
Do not
okay?
listen to
And
this
then-
person, all right? Their bags
If
are
you-
porous, all right? It is more mess than it is worth.
I don't need a small amount. Doesn't make any
It's
sense
a canvas sack. It's dripping.
Now, if
for
you,
my
well, that's
situation.
because you don't want any of the grit. You know, you just want that pure blood. The canvas sack collects the grit. Everything that drips out is that fresh, clean blood.
Very much a
now,
limited time offer.
hey, take it or leave it, okay?
I will leave that. I will leave you. I don't need that, whatever that is. For the other two of you, this is this just a small economy, a little industry? Where you're-
Oh, yeah. We get all kinds of tourists and treasure hunters looking to make a quick buck, and they got to divide up the price using the bleeder to get the right rope, and then they need blood so that they don't pass out when they're on their little adventures, and that's why we sit around. We're just waiting for someone to bleed us dry. Well, not dry, but bleed us a bit.
Okay, I'm gonna come clean.
I don't need
Okay.
you.
It was
I don't need you.
it was rat blood. Okay, I got big.
And
I
that
got
does
a big.
not work. That does not
It's
work.
not gonna work.
You put rat
That's
blood
not
on that
gonna
rope,
work.
it's just
These
going to be a
ropes,
dirty
they
rope.
love
need
human blood.
All right, sir.
Well,
I don't
that's
need
why.
any of
That's
your
why I'm being honest with you. That was rat blood. But if you want some real blood, I got some real blood. Okay, this is from humans. I swear. Hey, hand to God, it's human blood. Okay.
Stop. There are just all these sacks everywhere that are leaking. Absolutely. You just built.
I will tell you this much right now. All right. This man has been here with those sacks for weeks. All right. He has picked them up, put them down. He does not know which sack is the human blood sack. All right. Am I lying? Emma, point to the human blood sack right now.
No,
right now.
because if I show you which one, you're gonna take it. You're gonna throw it on that rope. You're gonna get down in
Why
that
would I?
hole.
Why would I need a sack of blood?
I
when
don't want you in that hole.
I can bleed my own sack of blood right now if I wanted to.
Please don't. Please, everyone, keep their blood inside
Okay.
of them, please.
I will make you one final offer. Bleed my
What?
blood. Use my
Okay.
blood. All
Okay.
right. Because
Okay.
I am the best bleeder in the entire city. I am
All
not
right.
an adventurer. I am very scared of the tunnels. I will never go down there. All right.
But okay.
But I will. I love encouraging other adventurers to adventure into the tunnels.
And I might not be the best bleeder, but I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn.
I feel like that's it's either one or done. I don't think you need. I don't think this will play the skill.
Okay,
What
look.
is- No.
I just
You get out of here.
no. I'm gonna look. You can take their blood. That's fine. All I need is somebody to bring all these bags of my blood down into that hole and leave them there. Okay. As long as these bags of blood don't make it back up, We're good. Okay, we're square. We're even.
What do you mean we're square? We don't owe you anything.
Will you pay me to take those sacks down? And then I
I'll
can
give
pay
you all. You got all the bags of blood you could want.
No, that's not what I mean. I don't need the blood. You need to offer something to me.
I am offering you as many bags of blood as you can carry down into a hole. I don't understand what you're not understanding about this.
I don't need it.
So leave them down in the bottom of the hole. Everybody wins.
Okay, I just want to let people know that the finger prick has dripped down to my elbow and now it's dripping on the floor. So this also is a limited time offer.
You don't want that to go to waste. It's a
What
great
is the price of the blood? Right?
Oh,
Not
geez,
you.
I've never thought about price.
You've never gotten this far.
Wow.
You've never gotten this far. Okay.
Okay. Well, okay. What am I worth? What are you worth, Lenny? What are you worth? Okay. All right. I'm gonna say 2 copper bits.
Oh, bud. I'm
Is
not
that
going to
too
allow
low?
you.
Is that
That's
too high?
way too low.
1 copper bit. One copper bit. You can
No.
get all my blood. Leave me
Keep on
dry for 1
going on.
copper bit.
Lenny, I'm so sorry. I can't allow myself to keep speaking to you.
I want to be able to price my blood at a copper bit, but I know I can't. I know it's not worth that.
I need to stop
My blood
speaking
ain't that good.
to
I'm-
all
I
of
don't
you.
know much about bleeding. I've been over my head.
I think we're not going to use any of these services, but I do want you to circle up. Let's do a little separate.
I would actually love to. I don't
Nodoze,
want to
you don't
bleed
need to.
4 ounces out.
I just need to talk to these. If you're going to continue this industry, just, set your rate, value yourself, right? Like if you were going to be the Ubers of blood or the lifts of
Blood hub.
sharing.
Blood.
It's going to be a blood hub. Maybe make a collective set of price in the industry so no one's like underscoring or like trying to price gouge. That might
Like
make your
a
life
cartel?
like a union, which is a legal cartel.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm not sure we're going to take advantage of this, but you just think about it.
I would love to take advantage of this because 4 ounces sounds like a lot. We could die. We could drown.
You know what? Okay. 2 ounces of my blood, 1 copper bit. 1 copper bit, 2 ounces.
I mean, if that's what you feel that you are worth inside of your heart.
Here's the thing. I've been doing this for months. I just need 1 sale, all right? And then I will reassess how I feel after that, all right?
Fantastic. I'll leave.
He's got to emotionally unpack because he's been doing a lot of this work pro bono.
All right. You said 2 ounces? Great. That's 2 ounces. And then Nodoze, you just need to do a little 2 ounces just for you. That's easy. You do that every day, right?
Every day?
Every day. Everyone bleeds a little bit every day, right? I haven't done it in a while. I don't remember.
What?
What? Anyway, let's all prick our fingers and start bleeding, baby.
So, Lenny the Leech, he just takes a knife, stabs himself in the arm, and just hovers that over a precarious mason jar, and then just so where are you from?
Yeah, we're from the Uhuru. We recently died.
Oh, I saw that ship come in. It's very, very, very special looking. Very special looking. You know a special ship when you see it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
What do you?
I mean, I'm originally from the mainland, but I've been flying, for the past.
Oh wow.
God, it's been more than a decade now
Uh-huh.
in the
10
sky.
Yeah, that's crazy. I see you guys come in and out of port all the time. I could not do it. All right, I'm so scared. I am not scared. I'm not afraid of blood, but I am afraid of venturing out of my comfort zone. I will not. I will not go into the tunnels, and I will not go back into the air. And you know what? Here we go. 2 ounces of blood right there.
Oh, thank you.
Wow,
that's for
just
you.
like that.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Smells
I
great.
think I opened up a little too much of the skin. All right.
Yeah, how about you go to the doctor? Go to the doctor.
All right.
And
So thank you so much for your service. It's been a pleasure.
Here's that copper bit.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hey, welcome to the doctor. How may I help you today?
Oh, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no.
No,
They
we
approached
need
Dracula.
a deep plot.
I would like to zip over deep into the caves with Gable, Wendell, and Nodoze. I think you have been following this line now for quite some time. Your group has worn through a lot of the initial excitement, and I think even gone through, there must be, Liz, I have to ask, what are the games that Wendell, Nodoze, and Gable tend to play with one another when things are boring? Because you are the action group. You leap into battle, you take risks together, but there must be downtime between you. Is it I Spy? What's going on with these folks, Wen?
So on the next carton, it's a picture of an apple with a lady apple.
Like a sexy lady apple?
Yes, it's very sexualized. The lady apple has big lashed eyes and heaving breasts, and the apples are indicating that they are attracted to each other. And then on the next carton, they have a very small apple, so as to indicate that the two apples have courted and had offspring together. And that was the end of it. I was drawn away. I didn't get to the next panel, but that's the last cartoon I saw. Yep.
That's a good one. It's got ups, it's got downs, it's got kind of a fun moral at the end.
Exactly. The apples were delicious and made little ones together.
I don't understand your obsession with erotic cartoons. I prefer the Heathcliff brand apples, which are much more abstract.
I understand, but art is... I'm not going to say I don't enjoy erotica for the sake of erotica. I understand it and I appreciate it for what it's worth. But I also know that the form needs to involve sex to advance. All art needs to have a certain amount of sexualization to be able to be shared amongst the masses, because sexualization is a shared experience amongst all humanity, or lack thereof. But the human relationship to sex is something that we can all languageless agree on.
I think I would like to eat a sexy apple someday.
Okay. Well, you do know it's a metaphor, right?
What? I'm not.
It's
For what?
The apples from this product don't actually have heaving bosoms. It's about the femininity and...
I have never concerned myself with apples. Do they not hump?
Okay, well, all right.
And I think at that, we enter a chamber. The rope leads off into a chamber that, it's clear that this path has been trod many times. I think there are a lot of channels and nooks in this cave system. You can see from the faint light of the ropes and whatever lanterns or light sources you may have brought, that along the walls of the cave, there are marks where water has flooded and drained from this cave. You can't tell whether it is tidal or what might have caused the various flooding and draining, but it's clear that over time this cave has been waterlogged and then drained dry many, many times. And it is also clear that the path that you're walking has been walked by many other people. It's just a sense that you get entering older cave systems where you can look down another tunnel and there is an energy of discovery that comes from the tunnels that are not connected to paths that are familiar from other people. It is both menacing and alluring, but your path has the comfort of something that has been walked many times before until you reach the chamber ahead. Because you can see coming from this chamber, there is a faint light. not a dancing light. I couldn't say that it is actively glowing. Glowing to me implies that there is a movement to the light. It is very still, but it is still a light, a small trickle of gold that stands out heavy in the darkness. And as you enter the room, the energy changes. It is as though you are staring and standing in a tunnel that has not been walked many times before, where every person's experience is unique, and some of them have ended in death. You have entered the tunnel of the Plume Crew, whatever. I can't speak French. That's been made very clear over the last many episodes. But we made another French place, so kind of have to follow along with that influence.
So I guess this is it.
Just keep going.
Nope.
Wendell walks into the chamber, and we can't see, but if we could, we would see the goosebumps forming on Wendell's neck and shoulders, his hairs standing up on his neck. You two standing behind him can see that some of the faint gold light underlights him as he stares down towards the ground, where as our eyes adjust a little bit, we can see that there is a pool of water, a circular pool that as Wendell looks down into it, the gold glow washes over his face. Nodoze shortly thereafter joins him at his side and looks down, and when and if Gable does, we can see a deep well of water. A pit that is full of still and clear water that goes down farther than any can say. But at the very bottom of that pool, there is a golden glow.
Oh. And the pool is filled right now.
The pool is filled.
Okay.
This is it, fellas. This is what I was taking us towards. There's a treasure at the bottom there. And everyone who's come here before us has either turned back or died trying to take it.
Oh, I would bet that we have lighting implements, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a torch and, first of all, light a match to see what the oxygen situation is in here.
Yeah, you light the match. The match is not entirely still. There does appear to be some kind of cross breeze from faint caverns above you. If you look up, there are, I wouldn't call them tunnels, but a rodent might be able to fit through them. Certainly not any of the beefy gangly boys that are currently here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's plenty of air.
Gotcha. And then I'm going to light a big oil-soaked rag to have a torch so we can have a lot more light here.
And you light up the room. This room appears rich with graffiti.
Interesting.
There are, I think, groups have written their names onto the walls, and some of those names are crossed off, and some of them are not. And I think there are dates as well.
Oh. Have people left things here as if it seems like they've left in a hurry?
I think if there are any things left behind, they are things that are left specifically as remembrances. I kind of love the idea that next to most of the names that are crossed off, there is a tradition of taking a coin. We'll say that Deauxmignon has its own currency system. There are these... I don't want to tie myself to a medal, but there are coins that represent Deauxmignon, and they've taken steel nails and nailed them into the wall next to the crossed off name. So it's a little creepy. if like we'll decide, yeah, there was someone who came before you, and the thing that is left there, you see some boots and a coat folded up next to this well, as though someone intended to come back for them and never did.
And there are no bodies here. So if the people who died
bodies
did it down there. Cool. Great. So Wendell, I know the stakes. Any sort of hints as to why it's either get out or fucking die? Is that...
Well, I mean, again, I've had just a little bit of time to think about it, but I kind of think that, everybody else not very good at going on fun and cool adventures.
Okay. Well, that's...
Now, I think I would disagree. I think it comes to a point in every person's life where they have to choose whether some abstract prize is more valuable than continuing to be.
Sort of creating your own accomplishments once you've run out?
The real treasure mayhaps be realizing that your life is more valuable than some golden prize at the bottom of a well.
Yeah, or no one's cool enough or strong enough to swim to the bottom. Or nobody has friends to pull them out if it looks like they're not going to make it all the way.
Oh, so you're saying the tide's never going to recede. This is always going to be full.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If the tide receded, I think people would have it already, right?
Okay. Oh, right. I was under the impression.
There's no easy mode. This is only hard mode.
Figured that we would.
For real gamers.
Oh,
Did
don't
not
make
agree.
Wendell a gamer. I couldn't.
No.
Some Dark Souls stuff.
No, I'm here for the story. Really, I'm not here to get good or anything.
The lore.
Wendell draws his keyblade.
No. Mickey, what are you doing here?
You should swim to the bottom and die.
Mickey,
It's the
stop
door
it.
to darkness, yes.
Don't keep doing this impression, I'll sue you. Huh?
Well, the impression isn't that good.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Ah, jeez.
Uh,
All right, my friends. I'm going to do some magic. How's everyone feeling about that? We haven't had a whole lot of time to discuss everyone's comfort level.
We talking like card stuff?
No.
Oh, God-killing stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, Wendell, you can see there is kind of a fear, like a nervous anticipation, agitation. And over at Nodoze has a look that is almost impenetrable, because it is the same look. He's simply not a very expressive person. Apart from the thrill of battle, you don't see him emote very much, but he is extremely focused and attentive.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to perceive, you may.
That's not what I'm asking.
Hmm?
It's not what I'd like. This is about all of us.
I mean, what would you want to do?
I'm going to cast... my plan is to just figure out... This is going to be yucky. Figure out where the souls and bodies are here. And at what point they lost their lives.
Oh, weird. I think I'm okay with that. Give us a bit of leg up to get that cool treasure.
Nodoze?
Yes, I think that would be wise.
Okay. But we're all cool with it. We're not skeeved out, and we're not withholding any sort of, like, resentment for, ruining the world when I do these things, right?
Wait, does it actively ruin the world?
No.
Yeah, that wasn't made clear to me.
The previous stuff. The current stuff, no way for me to know if that's impacting how bad the world is right now, but...
Gable, do you think what you did ruined the world?
Yes.
Skyjacks.
It's a lot. Still have to put one foot in front of the other, right? Every day. And then you keep on doing it. And then put it back there. It's always tick, tick, ticking.
Kind of where I am with my arm, too, so... if, I guess all that means is... Sure, Sure.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with you using your magic. It is a gift.
Thank you. So often I just do the thing I'm going to do anyway, but I feel very validated. Thank you. Small stuff, but important. All right. So I'm going to cast magic. What I think would be cool and scary is if we could bring up a whole person. Or, like, maybe not even talk to a ghost, but, like...
Okay. How about this? The challenge of what you are trying to do is going to grow with the more specific information that you get.
Okay.
If you want, like, bare hints at what could be, then make an average roll. If you want a lot of a clearer picture that might provide some concrete answers, that's going to be a hard roll. And if you want to talk to a ghost, that's daunting.
Okay. I want to figure out why. My main goal is to figure out why everyone dies down here. What do you think that is? I'm not specifically talking to anyone.
Again, I can tell you exactly why people die for average, but you probably won't love the answer.
Okay.
For hard, I can tell you more specific information about how people will die you will probably like that answer more. And like, if you can pull off a daunting roll, I'll reveal the whole prestige.
I think I want to do a daunting roll because my magic is really good. Okay.
All right.
What is daunting?
Ooh. Daunting is 4 purple.
4 purple. Okay. And then I would love to upgrade that if possible.
Are you casting to a luminary? Or are you making a sacrifice? Or are you going to do some kind of ritual?
I feel like I already owe a luminary, so I probably don't want to do that.
Do you? I don't think you do.
I on the boat I cast to a luminary during the ship battle, as I recall.
I think that luminary was kind of aligned with your ends.
Okay.
So I don't think you owe anyone anything.
Okay. Yeah, then let's do a luminary. Fuck it.
Love it.
Make it.
Love that perspective.
Cold shot. It's the Rusalka.
Ooh!
I mean, I'm shuffling right now. If it is the Rusalka, that would make me extremely happy.
What does that do to my dice pool?
That will upgrade once.
So green would turn to yellow?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is the Maelstrom.
The Maelstrom.
Maelstrom. Chaos, change, and storm. After the stars fell, natural order was disrupted. Now the seasons flow out of order in ever-shifting patterns that cannot be predicted by anything other than an incredibly skilled star watcher. When the seasons change suddenly, they are accompanied by a maelstrom, a terrifying storm that changes sphere to match it. Plants and animals that survive the storm shift to their new seasons seamlessly. Intelligent creatures suffer and adjust as they can. Something will change drastically and violently, upsetting any expected natural order. The change will come in a wild crucible that may destroy you before you see it if you are not clever and strong. I think the Maelstrom demands an exchange for helping you on this, and I'm going to allow you to upgrade twice.
Twice.
If you make this deal with the luminary, otherwise you will receive no luminary benefit whatsoever. The Maelstrom is going to ask you to dive in and seek out the treasure. If you commit to doing that, it will help you unravel it in this spell.
Hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude! All right.
So taking 2 greens and turning them into yellows?
Yeah.
Okay. So that means I've got 4 yellows.
Oh my god.
I know. I know, y'all. All right, let's roll them bones. Interesting. Okay. That's 2 successes and a threat.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. On a daunting
Okay.
too. That's very good.
How does Gable go about casting this spell? What posture do they take? What does it look like?
in the spirit of the maelstrom, they're just going to take their hand and start just swirling around in the pool to try and recreate just getting a little whirlpool going.
I think you stir the pool with your hand at first, and then you draw your hand out of the pool, still moving it in a circular motion above the water, and eventually bring it to rest as you kneel in front of the water, as the churning continues without your stirring. And then I think Gable closes their eyes and then opens their eyes. We rejoin you here in this moment, sitting by the side of the pool, and you can see the lines of possibility within the universe. You can see lines of possibility not just leading from the people around you, both Wendell and Nodoze. You can see the luminescent forms of their beings diving, sinking into this well beneath you, and you can see different nodes. Some of them are turning back and coming back to the surface. Some of them go down quite farther and wink out in death. And we then pull back farther than the people around you towards the past. And you can see thousands of nodes of all of the people who have trod this same path in the past towards this prize. The different nodes of them moving down, turning back, moving down, and winking out. And you can see the turning back. They are swimming down firmly, strongly. Everyone who descends, it seems, descends in the same way. I think we see like the shadowy forms of people's spiritual energy as they are diving down into the water, and everybody swims down with the same determination. Those who turn back, it feels very sudden. It doesn't feel like it has the urgency of drowning. Then we cut towards those who wink out, who die. We focus in on that because that is, after all, where our curiosity sits most. And we can feel in that, in their descent further towards the bottom, there we feel the urgency of death in drowning. They swim towards the bottom the way that most people would swim towards the surface. And at the very last instant, we can feel a tug, a cold hand, a cold, luminous hand, the touch of Rusalka.
Oh. This is river water?
Not the well itself, but those that swim deep enough touch the river. And some of them remain in the river, commit themselves to it, body and spirit passing to the world of death all at once. There are no bodies of the folk who have drowned in this pool, because no one really drowns. They simply decide to swim towards death with the urgency that most people head towards life. And of course, to reward you completely, because you took on the greatest challenge and therefore get the greatest reward, you are rewarded with the knowledge of what the treasure is at the bottom of the pool. And it is, of course, an angel feather. One of yours.
Gosh, this could mean, though, that the cutting stone is down there. That's not good.
It could mean, yeah, what was your results? It was 2 successes and a threat?
And a threat. Okay.
Yeah, I think the threat is that, people are pulled fully into death. And now, you are trying to scramble to understand the cosmology of life and death. I think for Gable, for, 200 years, the most important thing to know about death is that it didn't fucking apply to them when they were an angel, a full angel, they couldn't die, and it was not their station to understand death. If they ever knew it, they forgot it when their wings were carved away. But as a mortal being, immortal in quotes, as a being who walked sphere, like all of the other humans around you, you knew that you were cut off from death, that more than anything else, it was the thing that felt like it was denied you. It's something that everyone else feared, but you did not. And so what happens when people die wasn't as important as the fact that it made you sad when they left you. But now, you are trying to remember the mythology surrounding death. You know that the cutting stones are the wardens or guardians. You have faced at least one in battle. And you know that Rusalka is supposed to be something of a guardian of the river, something of someone that allows people to usher into planes beyond, or in many cases forces people to be ushered beyond. But it's hard to say what might be waiting at the bottom of that well, what force might be exploiting a part of your body to have taken thousands to a watery grave.
Ooh! All right. So the spell's still going. I like to imagine that the tide pool is going so fast. It's kind of like that scene in Little Mermaid where you can see straight to the ocean floor and you can see the dried treasure at the end. Gable gets up, puts a hand on both of the boy's shoulders and says, "You absolutely cannot go down there. The two of you cannot go. You must not."
No, I have to.
No, literally, you can't. You will die. You will die if you go.
No one knows that.
I do. You were looking at a tributary.
No, people either swim down there and they die, or they know why they want to live.
Oh, bud. Do you not...
Wendell, what's the matter? You're about to leave the ship. You're about to go raise a family.
Do you not know why you want to live?
I know why I'm on the ship. I know why I take risks, and it's because I got something worthy of taking a risk for. But now, if I go home, if I get married, then it's just going to be me and all the scars that I got earning that money. And I know what those scars are like. Sometimes you pick things up, and you grab them tighter than you want to, and they break. And it doesn't matter if it's a cup or if it's a rope or whatever, but it matters if I'm at home.
Wendell punches the wall, and the rocks shatter. You feel a rumbling of the cave. I think both you and Nodoze understand exactly how powerful Wendell's temper can be now that he is in this state. Blessed with Dreth's parting gift, an arm that does not live, but moves with strength and power beyond mortal strength, but cannot feel, and cannot create its own limits.
Gable just goes over to Wendell and kind of scoops him up into a very strong hug. You don't need to keep gifts. Just because something is a blessing doesn't mean it remains so.
I don't want to get rid of it. I'm not mad at Dreth. I'm happy. I'm just afraid of myself. How do I know that I'm going to go back to them and be what they need me to be. When I was on the ship, all I had to be was strong and fearless. And if I died in battle, then my share and whatever payment that we had agreed on went back to the people who care about us would have gone back home. And that could have sustained everyone. And before no, not even before. I don't know if the person that goes back home is gonna be what they need from me. I don't know how to be that way. I know how to be strong and brave and fearless and jump into situations where I don't know if I'm coming out of them. What am I gonna do, read books?
Absolutely not. We know that you can't. Not because you choose not to. You know how to read. You just don't do it.
Yeah, I read all I needed to read.
Yes.
I'm done with it now. It's over.
Got all the words that you needed.
I put down that book, I said done, and I meant it. And I'm committed to that.
Absolutely. I understand it. I don't know how to tell you that you don't need to be anything besides yourself. And the only thing other people need from you is for you to accept yourself wholly. I'm not a psychotherapist. I can't tell you how to do that.
Wendell looks down at the pool, looks at the swirling nexus of water that is eerily silent, and the golden treasure that is so far beneath. Wendell looks at his arm, breathes in shakily, and breathes out.
I guess there aren't easy answers.
But I know where you end, and it's not in here.
Wendell looks at Gable again. There is a touch of not the fear, but definitely the quality of the look he gave you earlier when he was contemplating someone who had struck down the sovereign, when his brain was touching the cosmic truth that sits upon your shoulders every waking moment of your life. But yes, there's no fear in this. It is the understanding of a thing beyond. Wendell, I think we can tell, understands in this moment that when you say you see where he ends and that it is not here, provides the clarity that he was seeking when he brought his closest friends onto this trip that he felt possibly might have ended his life. And there is relief in that look. He steps back, rolls his shoulder, stretches his muscles.
Well, all right then.
Yeah,
I guess I'm okay.
good. Now, if you two, just 5 minutes, I'm going to do a little sightseeing. And Gable jumps in the pool.
Skyjacks.
We're back with Travis and Oromar. We can see the chasseur step into the grove. This changeling was running from something that is very familiar to you. It was running from the presence of the cutting stone.
It felt death was close. Too close.
Oromar, you've got a loud and upset finch in your mouth. Travis has, like, you probably couldn't see Travis with Oromar's eyes, but you can definitely sense his spiritual presence take off after the changeling. You can feel the icy touch of the cutting stone looming towards the area. What do you do?
What we're going to go and do is we want to, because we know where this changeling is heading in the general direction, we want to control where this thing is headed. And there are many ways of doing that. What Oromar is going to pick to choose is to find a small rock big enough to, like, take in one hand and throw, and pursue with the intent of hurling the rock with superhuman strength to miss, but to kind of, like, you know, if you hear a loud crack to your right, you're going to start running left away from...
Okay, so Oromar is, like, coordinating with Travis now, like, we are going to herd this creature to where we want it, to where we can capture it or, you know, do what we need. Yeah, there is a silent agreement between you and Travis. You know how to step in and support Travis very naturally. And you also know that whatever you and this creature are running from is extremely important to run away from. And I feel like this is a good time to cut back to Gable. Gable.
Where's my bird?
So unprofessional.
It's really unprofessional. I had all these treats for it.
Gable, yeah, I think you ask Nodoze, like, Wendell leaves the room. Wendell, someone who is able to face an emotional crisis.
Fixed it, thought about it,
in a flashback.
done.
Yeah. I read a book. I finished the book. I'm done reading.
He is at peace. I cannot. I can't fault him for that.
Nodoze, though, has been wrestling with a great deal, and Nodoze is at the edge of the pool now. And Nodoze looks to Gable. What do you intend to do?
It's the same old thing. The rules that apply to you don't apply to me. I'll go in. I'll come out.
Gable, there is much that has gone unspoken, and that is my fault.
It's unspoken, but I know. I know.
I cannot face you taking a risk in this way without it being spoken in the open, and I must speak my piece, if you would allow it.
Yes.
I joined this crew because I believed in the mission that Captain Oromar proposed. I believe in the destruction of the Red Feather Syndicate. And I believe that a man of my talent can commit themselves to many things in their lifetime, and most of those are distasteful. But I believe that the core of Oromar's mission is not that all of my work, though some of it might be clouded, some of it might lack clarity. I believe that it is one of the best things that a person of my talents can commit themselves to. And then you joined the crew. And then you joined his council. And I have come to understand that there was deception in that. But you and yours became a guiding hand for our ship. And the mission became clearer. When we were on the Civility, I know that you know that I saw an indication of your past. I don't want to say what you are because I can't live with the idea of suggesting that you are a thing other than the person that I have come to know. We found friendship in the fact that the two of us, and Wendell, we are willing to be careless with ourselves in a way that most people are not.
I do not fear death. I do not fear my destruction. Because again, I know what I am capable of. I have seen the terrible things that a man who has to make his life through violence must see. But I know that there is goodness at the core of you. And I will admit, I find that beautiful. But I find it to be a beautiful thing without expectation. I don't demand things from you. I would never. You destroyed the Sovereign. I can't imagine what it must be like to unpack a truth like that. I can't. But I do know what it is like to fear yourself. Gable, I need you to know that I truly believe at the core of myself more than anything that I have ever believed. If you slew the Sovereign, you did so for the right reasons. There is something that I believe at the core of you. Whether you understand it or not, you do things for the right reasons. And so, what I must say, I would follow you to the ends of the earth.
Oh.
Because I know that thing is at the core of you. And I do not wish to see you be careless with yourself.
Oh boy. Gable brings him in for a very light embrace. In the same way, sort of indicating, I'm not holding you here with my strength. He gives him a very gentle kiss on the forehead.
You can feel him trembling.
That means the world. I can't be what you need right now. But one day I hope to be.
If that day is ever to come, is immaterial. What matters to me is that I protect you in the ways that I can until you get wherever you are going. Which is why I ask this before I leave you to do what I know will be right. Why do you need to face this trial?
So I can see what you see. Because right now I don't.
Nodoze sighs heavily and nods, looks into your eyes. And again, we know that Nodoze is a person of scant and restrained emotion. His eyes barely change, but you can see the sincerity, the worry, the admiration, and the love mixed in them. And he nods, that same curt nod that he has given you 1,000 times, as the two of you have many, many times over your brief history together aboard the Uhuru, given one another as you have committed to do the wildest things that anyone could imagine. He grabs his spear, which was leaned up against the wall, and heads towards the entrance of the cave. I very much hope that you find what you are looking for.
Keep the string lit for me.
Always. And he disappears into the darkness. There's something that you can feel about it. We've had you perceiving people's paths in, and you can sense that both Wendell and Nodoze went in here without even touching the water. They passed the same trial that countless others who pursued this treasure and turned back have done before. Yeah, you are rushed through the complex web of interconnected caverns that makes up this cave system beneath Deauxmignon, and you arrive at the mouth of the trial cave, slowly drowning again and again as you go.
Oromar, obviously, your body cannot drown. Travis, though, I'm really interested what your experience of this situation is.
With drowning in general?
Yeah, how are you not drowning right now? Like, what does it feel like to not be drowning right now? Probably there's a little bit of trauma resurfacing in this, as once again, it is somebody drowning in your stead. But yeah, you're just nestled in Gable's little pocket.
I think that it is challenging, but I think that Travis is a bit, kind of got a lot of adrenaline going on right now, because some pretty cool shit just went down. So I think that is, I think at first it's like a, here we go. And then it's like, oh wait, like it's all good. And also I just found out I'm a god. So
No.
it's
the wrong lesson.
It's gonna be okay, I think. Yeah,
Okay,
Tyler,
hang on.
you missed a lot.
Wait. I just want to ask, like, because I mean, in Jonik's arc, while y'all weren't here, did everybody just level the fuck up?
Oh.
Like 2-3 times.
Wait, what happened to John?
Knowledge-wise.
Knowledge-wise.
Oh, okay.
We
All
just
right.
learned a bunch of silly stuff.
Yeah. Jonet, not much happened to Jonet. He did defeat the Mariner.
Again?
I guess. Again.
Again?
Yeah.
Just again.
It just keeps happening. He keeps coming for me.
You'd think he'd learn.
All right, let's get back into it.
Yeah. So you get pulled through these tunnels into the trial tunnel into, I gave this stupid fucking feather a goddamn name.
The plume of...
Yeah. The Plume Crew. That's it.
Is that the one, like, that was on Rusalka? So I didn't get
Yes.
that. Okay.
You didn't get that one. You
Fine.
decided, in fact, specifically that you would not get that one.
I thought it
because-
was a different one. I thought I got the reward at the bottom of the well, and then there was a different one. But it was just
No,
the
you
same
just
one.
suffered, basically.
You just suffered, but
It's fine.
it built character.
That's fine.
So it was worth it. But yeah, you emerge into the cavern of Le Plume Crew. I think as soon as there is a sound of someone coming out of the water, like Gable obviously like pulls themselves up out of the water. Yeah, and as tough as coughing is to hear and do, we do just do some of that as you expel all of the river water from your lungs. And Nodoze, as soon as he hears you, is at the door and helps you to your feet.
Skyjacks.
That everybody has to describe their bathing suit, which I am a
Yes.
fan of.
I think that with the tiered structure, the higher you go, the hotter it is.
Oh yeah.
So you can choose your temp, or you can like
Ooh.
maybe people kind of start at the lowest one and like work up to get to the like every 15
work
minutes
as high as they can get. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I like the idea that there is a cool down slide that basically
I was just about to.
Yes.
kind of like a lazy river that like when you are just overwhelmed with heat, you get into it and it slowly brings down the temperature as you spiral
That's
down.
so good.
Yes. All right, I got to get a new thing.
Sorry,
Damn.
Tyler. Sorry.
No. Hey, man. Great minds think of slides.
Great.
Let's
Constantly.
see. I feel like this is maybe just something that I would want to see in a spa in general, but like there are maybe on the outskirts of the pools of water, they have like built up beds of rock that are just slightly below the level of the water, and that's where you can get like a massage while also still in the hot springs.
Yeah.
And so, but then like they have like a little inflatable like face rest that you just kind of like stick your face in so you don't drown while you're getting the crap beat out of your back.
So good.
I love it. I think that's a detail from everyone. So yeah, we're in this beautiful, like, tiered hot spring, and we see the captain's council together. I think in one of these pools. I think we can see off in other pools there are other members of the crew. We got Nodoze, who is obviously in one of those like one pieces with shorts that has stripes on it, that classic like 1930s men's bathing suit. And I think obviously hanging out with Nodoze, we have Wendell, who is in kind of I like almost like a furry bikini. Like I like the idea that this is like yak hair or some large animal that like will submerge itself in water, so is actually going to stand up to being in water pretty well, but it makes this already very hairy man just look selectively hairier in places.
Delightful.
But yeah, we can see like the whole crew of the Uhuru has been, you know, paid for a spa day, for like a corporate retreat style thing. And I kind of think that the Captain's Council, you're all in the same tier of hot spring right now. So I just want to know collectively, what level of heat are you at, and what do your bathing suits look like?